What's going on? It is Jordan here. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about why men aren't approaching women and also why handsome men don't need to approach women and yet they will still win when it comes to attracting them. So we're going to dive into this one, man. I'm going to go in on this one. If you are a returning viewer and subscriber of mine, you know that usually I keep that, more sophisticated gentleman-like presentation to me because that's just, how I am, right? But we going in on this one because this is something that really annoys me when it comes to women. And I understand why they're saying this. But when women say men aren't approaching us, men never want to approach us. Where all the good men at? Where's all the men that are going to be real men and approach us? So when they say that they want men to approach them or that no good men are approaching them or real men aren't approaching anymore or whatever the case is, they're talking about the handsome, attractive men that they want. Let's get that out the way. They want the handsome and attractive man to be approaching them. So whenever you hear a woman from this point forward, if you ever hear her saying, where are all the men at? Why aren't men approaching us anymore? Men don't approach nowadays. Men have stopped approaching us. They want handsome and attractive men to approach them. Those are the men that they're referring to. How do I know this? Because when I've gone out, every time I've gone out, I don't go out to clubs or anything like that. I go out to nice bars, really only like one particular bar that I go to. And every time I go to that bar, I always see dudes approaching women. Always. Yet they steady get rejected. They steady getting rejected. So men are approaching. Men are approaching. Men are shooting their shots at women. It's just that the men that are shooting the shots at the woman, the men that are approaching women aren't the handsome, attractive men that women want. And that's the thing, man. Dudes are tired of constantly shooting their shot, approaching women, hearing them make all these complaints and stuff like that. And then when they go out and they approach the woman, they do shoot their shot. The woman steadies rejecting the man and rejecting him either up front by letting him know, that she's not interested or that she has a boyfriend, whether or not this is true, or to reject that man on the back end. What do I mean? By either giving him a fake number. Usually they'll give him a real number, but then what they'll do is when the man texts the woman, she won't reply. Or if she does reply, she will usually take time, hours or days to respond. May agree to meeting up with the man, but then flakes, or just makes it very difficult for the man to be able to link up with her to the point where he just gives up. That's really what I mean by her rejecting the man on the back end. And men are tired of this. They're tired of wasting their time. They're tired of wasting their energy. They're tired of constantly questioning themselves. What did they do wrong? Overthinking. Oh, am I not good enough? Was I not smooth enough? Did I not have a crispy mouthpiece when I said this to her? Was I not handsome and attractive enough? Right? And a lot of the times it has nothing to do with you, man. It's very circumstantial. There's so many nuance. There's so much context. There's so many things going on with the woman. That's why I tell men, like, listen, if you're going to be cold approaching women, you just need to understand what you're going to get from that. If you're that type of dude who's like, man, I love cold approaching, I don't care about rejection stuff, cool. I'm not really talking to you. The men who are tired of shooting their shot, tired of shooting their shot but getting rejected when they do it, yet they constantly hear women talk about, oh, men aren't approaching us anymore. But yet when they do the very thing that women say men aren't doing, they then get rejected and then they start to question themselves. They start to overthink. That's why a lot of men aren't approaching nowadays. A lot of the times when men approach women, whether this is in bars, lounges, clubs, or even just throughout the day, a lot of the times women already are seeing a man that they're heavily attracted to, heavily into, whether or not this is in an actual relationship, casual relationship, whatever. Their mind is fixated on that man. They're in that man's world. They don't see any other man, if you get what I'm saying. They're not looking to mingle with any other man because they're fixated on the man that they're seeing. Or number two, say was bringing back to a bar, lounge, club situation. They see a handsome, attractive man that they want, and they have their eyes on that specific man. That's the man that they've decided that they want. So any man that's not him that tries to step up to her, she ain't rocking with dude. She's going to reject him. Let the dude who approaches her talk and make him feel like he's doing something, but most of the time he's not doing anything. She's just letting him talk. How do I know that? Because I've seen many situations where a woman that was peeping me, that was checking for me, wanted me, there was dudes that approached her trying to get at her. She let them talk. They thought they were doing something, buying her drinks and all this stuff. But then as soon as I spoke to her, I started a conversation with her, the rest of the dudes, those dudes that approached her didn't exist. I'm just being honest. Literally, there was a time where I was at a bar with my friend. We were watching basketball. I believe the Suns were playing. I forgot who they were playing. But this was on, I think they were playing, I remember it was on Halloween night in 2024. I went to go to the bathroom. There was two girls that sat right next to me to my right. My best friend was to my left. When I went to go to the bathroom, the girl that was sitting furthest away from me, she was feeling me. And her best friend was sitting right next to me. And when I went to the bathroom, the best friend of the girl that was feeling me told my friend, hey, my friend is interested in your friend. So then when I came back to my seat, after some time, my best friend told me what was up. And during that time when he was telling me this, there was a group of men that approached those two girls, buying them drinks, trying to talk to them, all this shit. Soon after those dudes stopped talking to her for a while, she tapped me on the shoulder and started a conversation with me. She asked me, do you go to such and such church? Which she knew damn well I didn't go to such and such church. That was just her way of opening me up. And then we started having a conversation. She was a cool girl. She was attractive. We started to have a conversation, and throughout the night, the same dudes that try to get at her and her friend try to talk to them again. And then the dude specifically that was trying to get at this girl, I remember he was like trying to like interject in our conversation. And then at one point, her mom called her, and the dude kept trying to like talk to her, and she just turned around, was like that, told his ass to hush. And then after she got off the phone with her mom, it was like a 30-second conversation. She just went back to talking to me. That's what I'm saying, man. These women want the handsome, attractive men, want the man that's on their mind. Whether that man that's on their mind is either in the building where they're at or somewhere else. That leads me to why handsome men don't need, keyword need, to approach women, and they can still win in terms of attracting them. Because, and I made a video about this a couple videos ago from this one, and I talked about how handsome men understand that women choose the men. Why? Because they've been constantly getting chosen by women. They're constantly getting selected by women. So they understand that women choose the men. They've been able to get chosen by women without having to say a damn word. And because they understand this, as well as they understand that handsome men, they're the prize. They're the ones that have the leverage position. Why? Because there's a lot less handsome men in the eyes of women. There's a lot less of them in comparison to the amount of beautiful and attractive women. So based on supply and demand, since there is a lot less of a supply of the handsome and attractive men that women want, in comparison to the supply of beautiful and attractive women out here, there's going to be a higher demand for those men. And for the men that know that and are aware of that, they leverage that to their advantage because they can. And dudes have a problem with this. I've noticed that men have, and this is kind of what I'm going to get at some of you men watching this shit. Yeah, I'm going to come for you. For some of you men, I'm coming for you. Because I understand dudes complain about that shit. Dudes complain about that shit. And that's where you hear dudes say, that's where you have some dudes are like, oh, it's, you know, it's masculine to go after the woman. Men choose the women and all this stuff. Usually you hear dudes coping when they're not that dude that women are checking for, that women are choosing up on, that women are approaching, sending their friends to approach. That's usually where you hear dudes say all that bullshit. You like to approach and stuff like that, that's cool. I'm not telling you to switch up your style, man. I'm just telling you what it is. I know there's certain dudes who will like to cope because they're not that dude that gets chosen up by women. They say, oh, women don't approach, women don't choose, women don't slide into DMs, women don't message first on dating apps. Bullshit. They don't just do that shit for you. If you're that dude who says that type of shit and thinks that. Because for handsome and attractive men, when it comes to dating apps, when it comes to social media, when it comes to in person, we're attracting women to us, man. We know that we can attract women to us because we are the prize. Now, with that being said, you're going to have women that are, yes, they may find you physically attractive. They may not give a choosing signal. They may not approach. Oh, well, they may not do it. Okay, then they don't. Another woman will. Whether, again, this is on dating apps, Instagram, social media, in person. This happens everywhere. And I want to get to that real quick because I know there's some dudes who complain about dating apps and they're like, oh, dating apps aren't real life. That's bullshit too. You want to know how I know that's bullshit? Because I've seen so many women out that I've seen on dating apps. Hell, I've seen women out in person that I matched with on dating apps. And dudes think that the women that they see in person, because they don't have the context of seeing them on dating apps, they automatically assume that these women aren't on dating apps and they're high quality women because of that. Most women are on dating apps, bro. Most of them are on dating apps. And the way that women choose the men that they want to interact with, that they want to deal with on dating apps is the same damn way that they choose the men that they want to interact with in person. How do I know this? Because I've seen that my experiences on dating apps, social media, and in person are all in congruence. I've seen that women have chosen up on me. Women have approached me, sent their friends to approach me. Women have messaged me first on dating apps. Women were very open and enthusiastic and eager to get with me, to meet up with me. And I've seen men who are also on dating apps, who are also on social media, they don't get that same type of treatment and those on those online platforms. And they also don't get women choosing up on them or approaching them in person. You got to remember, it's still a woman that's a human being operating the app, right? It's like you saying that this video isn't real life, that what I'm talking about to you isn't real life because you're receiving this information from your screen, whether this is on your phone or your computer. But that's not true. This is still a person talking to you, another human being. It's no different. And because handsome and attractive men understand that they can attract women to them, again, whether it's on these online platforms or in person, don't feel the need, keyword need, to approach these women. Why? Because they're the prize. You know, when you're running a race and you cross the finish line, there's a trophy at the end of the finish line. The trophy isn't running to the runners. The runners are running to the trophy, the prize, right? Dudes like to say that they're the prize, but don't like to do prize-worthy shit. What do I mean by prize-worthy shit? They don't want to first build themselves up to be the prize, to build themselves up to be a man that women are going to be selecting and choosing. They don't want to do that shit. You guys got dating coaches and all this stuff telling you women ain't shit, men are the prize, but then they tell you to do the things, the actions that are in congruence with what they just told you. Women ain't shit. Go step up to her. Keep talking to her. Try to raise interest, try to raise attraction, try to overcome her objections. Men are the prize, but will tell you it's feminine for women to choose up on you. And dudes who don't got it like that, dudes who aren't physically attractive to women, those are the same dudes who say that bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Women ain't shit, you're the prize, but you don't carry yourself that way. And we don't need to say women ain't shit and all that stuff. Dudes who have great experiences with women don't need to, we know what's up out here. We don't need to be talking like that, man. Because we get great experiences with women. That's why this message ain't for everybody, man. This message ain't for dudes who want to, get triple doubles when it comes to running up on every single woman that he sees. I ain't the dude for that shit, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I don't give a damn if you don't like that. I don't. I'm all about attracting. I'm all about attracting to what wants me. Why? Because I've been experiencing this since I was 12 years old. Girlfriends I dated in the past approached me, pursued me. Women that were attracted to me, feeling me, always found a way to make their interest and attraction known. That's why. And I know it's possible for men to also have that same type of experience. Everybody's experience is going to vary, of course. Everyone's experience is going to be different, but you can develop yourself to be a man that can attract the women that want you. Because then you don't have to go through all this bullshit. You don't have to jump through all these hoops. You don't have to steady getting rejected by women. Because when you have to jump through all these hoops and shit, man, it's because a woman isn't sold on you. You know that, right? The woman isn't sold on you. That's why we focus on the women who are sold on us, because they're going to give us a great experience. But I know the biggest objection is, well, the women that want me, I don't want. I want the baddies. My question to you is, are you a bad dude to the baddie? Are you a bad dude to the baddie, bro? Because most dudes aren't. Dudes want women that look like Catwoman, that look like Wonder Woman, that look like Mary Jane Watson, Gwen Stacy, Starfire, Barbara Gordon, Black Cat. Dudes want women that look like that, but they don't look like Superman. They don't look like Batman. They don't look like Spider-Man. They don't look like Nightwing. Just because you want them doesn't mean that you're automatically entitled. Just because you want them doesn't mean that you're deserving of them. Because quite frankly, if you were deserving, you would begin those type of women. Because beautiful women want men that they believe are beautiful. They want men that they find gorgeous, as they will say. These are female gaze words, by the way. When you're a physically attractive man, facially, body-wise, if you got the height, if you have those things to the best of your ability, work with what you got, maximize what you got, women are going to be saying those type of things to you. You got to be a bad dude to the baddie if you want the baddie. And by the way, a lot of the baddies out here, you guys want dimes, you're going to have to pay dime price. You're going to have to pay dime price, yep. Mm-hmm. Because most of those women are used to dudes simping for them. Dudes with money, dudes with status, ball players. If you're a returning viewer and or subscriber of mine, I know you may be like, well, Jordan, I thought it was all about the physical attraction, the looks, the sex appeal. That's a large part of it, yeah. They still want that. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the woman's personal looks are. Women universally want attractive men. But you have to understand, with dimes, because they're so used to offerings from men with money, men with status, ball players, athletes, all these things, she's going to, for the most part, and I'm not saying every woman's going to be like this, but a lot of them are going to require something to that effect as far as that treatment, because that's what they're used to getting. Yeah, they still want the very attractive man, the hot man to them, the sexy man to them. Yeah, they still want that. But if they're locked into that mode where they're used to dudes simping for them, buying them all this shit, taking them out to extravagant dinners, athletes sliding into their DMs and stuff, and they're used to all that, a lot of times they're going to be expecting that type of stuff. Now, depending on how attractive you are and how she views you, that's going to be a different story. I've been with women that been with athletes. They didn't require me to do any of that shit. But the thing is, they viewed me as a bad dude. You need to be a bad dude to these women. But why am I saying all this stuff? Because number one, dudes want baddies, but they're not a bad man to the baddie. You guys want the hourglass, 8-figure shaped bodied women, but you don't got the V-shaped physique. You ain't lean. You ain't muscular. You don't look like a comic book character. Why the hell are you worried about a baddie when you ain't a bad dude? Because I'll tell you what, the 8-figure body and stuff, in shape women, that's dope. But when you have a V-shaped physique, on top of the fact that you're actually strong, you don't just have aesthetic appeal, but you have capability appeal. What do I mean by that? Well, a woman's 8-figure body She in the gym and stuff. Yeah, she looks good as hell. Yeah, she does. We gonna get turned on by that. Oh yeah, we will. But if you're walking down the street with that very nicely shaped in shape fitness girl, and some dude wants to get aggressive and come out the alley or something and starts to get physical with you guys, and he's physically aggressive, that eight figured hourglass shaped body is hiding behind what you should have, a V-shaped physique. That's not only aesthetically pleasing, but in this case, it needs to be strong and be ready to defend. Or if you're like a man like myself who fights, does martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and MMA, now whose physique is really more valuable? Let's just break it down, man, and keep it a stack. No disrespect to women at all. I'm not saying that. But dudes steady putting the beauty and the looks and shit on a pedestal because they ain't that dude themselves. That's why you're putting it on the pedestal, man. And here's the thing that really pisses me off is that most dudes come into this space because they were heartbroken by the woman that they were with. Heartbroken by your girlfriend. She may have cheated on you. Maybe did you dirty, dogged you out, mistreated you, which isn't cool. So that's how you come to spaces like this, to look for clarity, to look for understanding, to heal. Understandably. But a lot of that stems to what? Negative behavior and treatment towards you. So if you come to this space, usually most men come to this space because of negative treatment and behavior from women. Why the hell are you not putting positive behavior and positive treatment at the very top priority? I understand we want very attractive women. Yes, I'm not saying be with women that you find unattractive. I'm not saying be with women that you feel like you're settling. But the thing is, if you feel like you're settling for a woman physically, that implies that you've been able to attract women more physically attractive than her based on your results. You can't say you're settling for a woman that you believe is unattractive if you haven't had experiences with women that you've believed were physically attractive to you and you've been with them. You can't say that shit. But even then, okay, so what is she doing for you? Because I'll tell you what, the look appeal fades away. I've been with women that were beautiful, that were drop dead gorgeous, but they messed up their situation with me because they had bitchy personalities. They were insufferable, some of them. Not many, because I didn't deal with many women like that. And a lot of times, those women were actually cool. This is the weird part. I mean, I understand it, but it was just always thought it was interesting. A lot of these women were really cool and sweet to me, but just in general, holistically, they just had a bad attitude, bad personality. And I didn't rock with that. I don't like that. And I've departed from very beautiful women that didn't have the greatest personalities for the woman that may have not been as physically attractive as that woman, but her personality was beautiful. Behavior, treatment, beautiful. Cooking for me. Buying me gifts without me having to ask for any of these things. Constantly seeing how I was doing. Asking if there's anything that they can do for me. Just bringing beautiful energy, behavior, and treatment. And that's what men really should be focused on. That's what you guys should be prioritizing, in my opinion. When you can see both sides of the coin when it comes to a beautiful woman, you've been able to experience beautiful women who had great personalities, have brought you beautiful behavior and treatment, but you've also seen beautiful women who were insecure and they let that insecurity mess shit up. They didn't have the greatest personalities. They were unattractive on the inside, although they were beautiful on the outside. You then see how beauty isn't the ultimate qualifier. The positive behavior and treatment is the ultimate qualifier. And handsome and attractive men understand this. That's why they look for this. This is why they focus their energy, their time on the women who are checking for them. And oh, by the way, I've had a lot of conversations with women about how do they feel about men approaching them. They always tell me they want the handsome and attractive man to approach, but also they will give indicators, they will give signs, aka choosing signals. They don't say verbatim, we give men choosing signals, but what they describe is choosing signals. They said that they'll usually give those men eye contact. They'll give men eye contact and smile. And that's why if you're going to be approaching women, in my opinion, look for the choosing signals. Look for those. Because in my opinion, it's better to approach those women because at least they're giving you signs, indicators that they're attracted to you potentially. Now, some women are going to just be seeking your attention and your validation, then also could reject you. That's definitely a possibility. And the only way to truly know that is, does the woman allow you to lead the interaction? Is she open to seeing you? Is she not creating her own barriers and obstacles from getting at you, from you guys getting together, having an amazing experience? Is she receptive to you? Is she constantly replying back to you? Is she open to your leadership? Is she open to your suggestions as far as meeting up? Is she bringing feminine, positive energy, beautiful behavior and treatment towards you? Focus on those things. If she's not, if the woman isn't doing these things, if she's making it difficult, if it feels like it's pulling teeth just to get together with her, you need to move on, man. See, when women really want you, regardless of what they may have going on, as far as egos and oh, he's so intimidating, all this shit. If they really want you that bad, they will pull up on you in person or online, dude. You haven't experienced this. You just aren't that dude yet. And then from this point on, you can decide what you want to do. Do you want to be the man that can attract? See, because here's the thing. When you become the man that can attract, people got to respond to you. Women got to respond to you. They need to come check for you. You have the final say so in terms of the outcome as far as where you want to take that. You can steady pulling up on women, which is cool. Do your thing if you're a dude who's all about cold approach. And that, I'm not saying don't cold approach. Because sometimes, man, yeah, you're going to see a very beautiful, attractive woman that you're more than likely not going to see again. And if you're really attracted to her, you want to shoot your shot. Go for it. Especially if you developed yourself into a handsome, attractive man, you know you can attract women to you. Yeah, go for it. I think that makes sense. I've been a little bit critical of cold approach in the past, but kind of reevaluating my beliefs and kind of experiencing certain scenarios where women have told me that they wouldn't have approached, or if they didn't approach me, excuse me, they believe that I wouldn't have approached them because they felt like they weren't attractive enough to my standard to get get an approach from me, if that makes sense. Like they didn't feel like they would have been worthy of me approaching them, so therefore they stepped to me. So when I came across a situation like that, I was like, okay, that kind of had me think a little bit differently. But even still, like I said, women will give you indicators that they're interested in you. Constant eye contact with a smile. They may look at you a couple of times and then you see them magically close to you in your vicinity, whether this is at a lounge, a bar, a club, gym, whatever. Really want you that bad, they will make the effort to present themselves to you and make their attraction known to you. And honestly, if you ain't a dude that can get baddies and shit like that, man, first of all, level yourself up, maximize yourself to the best of your ability to become a bad dude. Part of that starts with physical. Make sure you're dialing in your life, right? Get your money up, get your credit up, not for the women, not because you're simping for the women, but because it's going to give you confidence to know that you don't need a woman for a damn thing. You don't need anybody for a damn thing because you're a self-sufficient man. You're ambitious, you're driven, you're trying to level up in your career, you're trying to get your side hustle into a full-time business, trying to find ways to prosper financially. You got your own hobbies that you're involved in. You have a life outside of women. Build yourself up to be a fly dude. Build yourself up to be such a dope dude that even when she comes across you, besides just the looks, she's into you, the man, and that you are a one of none type of man. And the women who are going to be able to recognize that and appreciate that, they're going to be the ones that pursue you. And if they're not the most attractive women, I don't know what to tell you, man, because you can only level yourself up so much to the looks department. I do help men maximize their looks, become the most attractive version of themselves, but there's only going to be a limit. And you got to focus on the women who are checking for you. But here's the thing. Beautiful women that are in shape, women that are in the gym, they want men who are also doing the same thing. We're selfish human beings at the end of the day. We seek out ourselves and other people, if you really think about it. Think about that. We really do. A lot of the women that you seek out, they're probably the female version of you. Quite frankly, I notice for me, I go for women who have dark features, dark brown hair, brown eyes, tan skin. Who did I really just describe? I really just described myself, but those features in women. It won't be the situation for every person, but a lot of times, whether it's features, you know, colors as far as hair, eye color, skin color, whatever, you're going to find something about a woman that you're attracted to, but it somehow comes back to you. And it's the same thing for them. So if you guys want baddies and stuff like that, man, you want attractive women, you need to be a bad dude to her. Yep. But also understand what comes with the baddies. But that's why focus on the women who are still very attractive. If you can get a baddie who's also not on that bullshit and is going to bring you great energy, then yeah, hell yeah. But don't be so quick to just pass up the women who, although may not be baddies, they're still very attractive, but they're going to become even more attractive holistically based on the behavior and treatment that they give you, which is going to matter more in the long run. Because when you deal with a woman that's very attractive, but her personality ain't that great, you'll see how quickly those looks fade. But at the end of the day, become a man that can attract women to him. Because when you can become a man that can attract women to him, when you become the prize, that's how you'll be able to attract women that view you and treat you as a prize. And if you want extra help with that, that's what I teach inside my Inbound Attraction Blueprint program. You can check it out down below. I'll have a link in the description and the pinned comment. With that being said, I hope this video helped, man. I had to go in a little bit, but it is what it is, man. And if you enjoyed this video, if you got value from it, please give it a like. Subscribe if you want more videos like this, man. With that being said, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take it easy.